Hi, I went to the Midnight Mission. First off, my name is Chase Glantz, and I went to the Midnight Mission on Skid Row. The thing I originally planned to do was to kind of go incognito and go as a participant in the shelter. However, my friend advised that I shouldn't do that. She said that Skid Row was very dangerous. Now, uh, not to think of myself as better than anyone else, but I've been in a number of bad neighborhoods to know what I needed to do. But I did this helping out by trying to eliminate as many power dynamic, unequal power dynamics as possible. Uh, because Smead says framing poverty in terms of rights takes us out of an inward Christian bubble to one that looks outward to the broader community. I didn't want to be the Christian guy that helps out because it makes him feel good. I wanted to experience this from being a part of the neighborhood. So I went and I took public transportation. I had to leave 3 hours early because I had to catch a bunch of connections and figure out how to get down there. I on the train, I got crowded out by a bunch of people, and I had to hold my ground, which I thought was really funny. Anyways, that actually brings me back to one of the values that De La Torre points out is that justice is not just about spiritual things, but physical bodies. And that physical bodies is actually an outward expression of an inward reality. Too often, I find that Christians, when they try to do their ethics, they try to usually they assume that the poor don't know God and they don't know why they're doing what they do, and the poor are the ones that need Jesus. And I kind of found the opposite. When I was there, I was helping move boxes, and I made mashed potatoes. I made lots and lots and lots of mashed potatoes. I was actually a mashed potato man. When I was done, I served the mashed potatoes. And one of the guys that was working there, he had been working there for 4 years. He was homeless himself before he started working there. Now he's off the street, and he was the one that we were talking when he found out I went to Fuller. He was the one that went, "Oh man, that sounds great. Let me tell you about Jesus." And he started giving me a devotional, and I really appreciated his fresh perspective. I think sometimes because I have done a bunch of mission work and because I think I'm all big and bad that I know things that I don't need to hear what my brother or sister has to say, who is from a different socioeconomic background, who's of a different ethnicity, has to say, which then comes back to their physical body. Within their physical body, we all contain everything. We contain our history. We contain what we believe. And from there, it's how we project our spirituality onto the world, ethics. Then after I served potatoes. I still saw that I was in power because all of the people who came to get food, they kept telling me how much potatoes I should put on there. And the guy who started me out, he goes, "You get one scoop, it's got to be level, etc." So I had a technique going, and then people kept telling me, "No, you do it this way." And then I had to push back and go, "No, you do it that way." And it was really interesting because I think because I wasn't a regular, people picked up that I wasn't on my own turf. I was on their turf. And yet, at the same time, when we were done, I got my own tray. They asked me if I was hungry. I said, yeah. And I went out and ate with people. And sometimes I really forget how much power plays into poverty and how much I play into power and how much, because I have means, that I use that means for my own comfort. This ends up all boiling down to what kingdom ethics calls basic convictions. And to quote kingdom ethics is basic convictions need to be understood not as mere propositions, but as aspects of the narrative of God's action in history within our lives, as revealed centrally in Jesus Christ. Even the most radical assertions that the divine love is uncalculating usually come with a concession that love is concern for the needs of the neighbor. Also, that means that I need to know my neighbor. And because I was only coming there once and doing this for a project, I didn't know those people. I didn't know their names. I didn't know why they were there. I was merely doing a project for school. And it really made me wonder what my ethics were currently in my academic state. A lot of times, because my wife and I don't have a whole lot of money, I often think I can't do much. But because we can use our physical bodies to do things, I began to wonder what I do with my physical body and how that interacts with my beliefs. And it came down to two principles. The first one I was thinking is equality, and how I am no different than anyone that I serve. That's one of my basic convictions, but I was wondering what biblical passage supports that. And the one I came up with is Jesus' parable about let the wheat and the tares grow together until the harvest. I have no idea how my actions will affect another person, nor will I know where someone will be in the future. And so in the end, we all don't know whether we are wheat or tares, but we do know that a harvest is coming. And then the other one I got was James 2:16, which is if one of you tells him, go in peace, stay warm and fed, but does not provide for his physical needs, what good is that? And as I continue to look for ways to be a Christian, I need to look for ways to provide. That's what ethics is the physical action. Because if you don't, then it's just something that we do because it's just knowledge, things in your head, and things in your head doesn't change lives. Jesus does in us.